I, 27 female, split from my soon-to-be ex-husband, 27, 3 months ago on the day our son was born. This is because I'm ginger, my husband is blonde, but our baby came out with dark hair. He freaked out in the delivery room and his behaviour got him kicked out of the hospital. I had to beg him to do a paternity test and he finally agreed after a month and it proved that I didn't cheat and he was the father. We'd been together since we were young teens, so I was devastated and all I wanted was to have him back. Still, I've come to my senses and decided that someone who believes that school-level Punnett squares are the only factor in biological inheritance is not the type of person I want to be with. I was also treated by crap by everyone but my older brother, Alex, while we were waiting for the results, because they all thought I'd cheated. It was a horrible experience, and as a result I lost many friends and family members. Since the results came back, my ex has begged me to return with him. I moved in with Alex after we split and he comes almost every day to beg me to get back with him. My in-laws have also been harassing me, especially my mother-in-law, who has come over 4 times in the past week asking me to forgive her son and to let God back into my heart. I used to be a Christian, as did all my in-laws and my family, but how I was treated when my baby was born made me lose faith quickly. The whole church community treated me like trash during this ordeal, making me want nothing to do with them anymore, and I don't want to raise my son in that sort of community. Yesterday, my mother-in-law turned up at Alex's house when he wasn't there, and she had the pastor from the church I used to attend with them. They practically forced their way in, and I was being berated like a child for not forgiving my ex's lapse in judgment. The pastor basically sat there and said I would be going to the bad place if I didn't take my ex back. I excused myself to use the bathroom and called the police. Pastor and mother-in-law were escorted out. Now I'm being harassed on social media and called and texted by everyone who knows me and my ex and his family. They're calling me the idiot for going nuclear and calling the police on 2 people who weren't being threatened, and they're demanding that I apologise immediately. I'm starting to feel bad now because I know they care in their own twisted way and I shouldn't have gone nuclear on them. Am I the idiot? You know what? Social media is vastly overrated. Why don't you take a break from it for a week or a year or 2 and mute your phone? Nobody is saying anything new. Your husband and his community of flying monkeys treated you abominably. Thank God for DNA tests to prove you aren't a cheater. Through their actions, they all showed their butts. You don't have to accept their demand to get over it and forgive them. You are not the idiot. They practically forced their way in, means you are being held hostage in your brother's home. And that is something that you need to defend yourself from. Any one of us would have called the police in that position. You were protecting yourself and your child from trespassers, and the actions of your soon-to-be ex-mother-in-law and pastor are unforgivable. They both should be ashamed of themselves. Keep records of all harassment, including screenshots of social media comments, in case they're later deleted. It may come in handy. Holy crap, I'm so sorry you went through that. Your loving husband didn't protect you. He didn't keep you safe. He made you feel worthless and betrayed. He didn't do any of the things he vowed to do, so you shouldn't be held to the terms of that contract. I mean, marriage. You have with him in the eyes of any good and kind lord. He may say he is sorry now, but take him to court and make him sorry. Yep, take his butt to court. Anyone who freaks out in a delivery room is an absolute idiot. The behaviour of mother-in-law is completely out of line. I would strongly consider a restraining order against her and your ex. They all showed their true colours. Ask the pastor and your mother-in-law if they harassed the father and told him to forgive you for your lapse in judgment when they all thought you cheated. If they didn't, then they're hypocrites. Funny how they didn't think he went nuclear for accusing you and then refusing to do the right thing, the DNA test, for so long. They don't care in their own way. They control and call that caring. It's abuse. Stay safe, OP. I, 32 male, have a wonderful wife, 30, and 2 young children, toddler females. I receive monthly royalties. I inherited part of my great-uncle's estate after his death. I will say that the amount is comparable to what my friend earns as a physician. I haven't been spending any of the money I received in royalties, but have instead just invested it for my children's benefit. In my state, the law dictates that I can will half of the community property and all of my separate property to whoever I want without being concerned about an elective share claim. So I've decided to will my separate property, the book rights and the separate investments, to my daughters. She can keep all of the community property. My wife is a wonderful woman and we've built a great life together. But prior to me inheriting my great-uncle's estate, she insisted on keeping her inheritance separate. Since she set the standard, I don't believe deviating from it now that it would be in her favour to do so. Not only that, if my wife remarries, I wouldn't want her new family, any other children she may have, to inherit the book rights. I want them to stay in my family. So I wrote up and notarized my will the other day and gave her a heads up about what would be in it. But she's been upset with what I've done. Am I the idiot? Well, there's a girl in California who lives off Peter Sellers' money, millions. She's not related to him and never met him. She's the daughter of the young wife he was divorcing when he had a fatal heart attack. He was days away from the appointment where he would rewrite his will. His own children got $800. Leave the royalties to your children so they can leave it to theirs. You are not the idiot. Let's see here. He rewrote his will to leave his estate to his much younger wife, thereby cutting his own children out. He did that. I'm sure she loved him for him and not his money. The article says they were getting divorced, and there were years, at least one, for him to change his will during that process. Yet he never found the time to rewrite the will, so that's on him again. I feel for his kids, but their dad did them wrong. OP, you're just keeping family money in the family. Info, is her will the same? Is she willing to give her inheritance and whatnot to your daughters if she dies? Or would that go to you? I can't really make a proper judgment without knowing that she's done the exact same thing legally that you have. She doesn't have a will, and my brother will take care of everything in case something happens to me. You are the idiot. Who gets the wife's inheritance when she dies? Instead of making wife executor, he named his brother. Sure, you love your wife. Sounds like you're trying to cut her out. You may not need to worry because with this will screwing her, she will probably divorce you. You're telling her you do not trust her. There are many details you're deliberately leaving out of your story, OP. This is very disingenuous. You made your brother the executor of your will and left everything for the kids, but you benefit from her because she doesn't have a will, and you get her estate if anything happened to her. You didn't discuss anything with her and didn't even consider her family enough to do so. Do you like and trust your wife? I don't understand your nasty treatment of her. My fiancé's family invited us to go with them on a little vacation. They told us not to worry about money because they covered the Airbnb, so all we would have to pay for was gas. It's a 19-hour car drive. We arrived last Wednesday. My in-laws are so overbearing. Like if I go and take a shower, they knock on the door within 3 minutes to check on me. If I go to the bedroom to have a minute to myself, they yell up to me within 5 minutes to see if I'm good. If I say I need to walk to clear my head, they follow me and make it a family thing. If I want to go sightseeing, they immediately get ready to go too and coerce us to go to the sites they think I will enjoy, versus what I would actually like. They sit there and talk to me and won't let me go to bed until after midnight, and then they knock on the door at 6 a.m. to get my fiancé and me downstairs for coffee, and they don't stop talking from sun up to sundown. I'm an introvert. I need space to refill my social bar, and since I've been here I haven't had a moment to myself. I mean, not even being able to take a shower without being harassed is making me angry. I talked to my fiancé about it several times, and I told him more than once that I need me time. I need to stop being followed. I need to decompress. His way of combating this was to be up my butt 24/7 and continuously asking me if I was okay, or to chew me out about how annoyed he was becoming. Not helping at all. I've told him that. But after being followed when I was on the phone and having his mother try talking over my conversation, it was the final straw. I packed my stuff and went to a hotel by myself. The $250 of my money to get home was now spent because I needed to get away before I lost it. My fiancé knew I was beyond tapped out and I warned him this would happen, but apparently he didn't believe me. So now he's shocked that I would do this, make everything awkward for him and spend my portion of the trip money. Am I the idiot for spending all my money that was supposed to be used to get us back home? Edit, I mentioned to my in-laws a few times that I needed space to decompress. They didn't listen. Not the idiot. The in-laws seem unbearable, the fiancé seems insensitive, and you just seem to be fooling yourself if you think this situation will get better when you were pushed to spend $250 just to escape his family. If your fiancé tried to understand you and fix the situation, I'd say something different. Do yourself a favor and end this relationship. If you get married to him, this will be your whole life. Can you imagine if they have a baby? Seriously, can you imagine how exhausted she would be if she and her partner had a kid and lived close enough to the in-laws that they would always be over? This sounds like an absolute nightmare. You need to have a serious conversation with your fiancé, hun. The fact that he participated in harassing you until you snapped after you warned him you were at your limit is entirely unacceptable. As an introvert myself, I could feel my stress level rising and I just wanted to cry reading this. And I'd be having a real long and serious talk with that fiancé of yours because he should have been 100% in your corner and told, yes, told, not asked, his family to back the heck up and let you breathe. Short and simple, you specifically asked them for space and they kept pestering you. You did what you did with your money. It's yours. Feel free. I'm child-free. I like kids, I just don't want to bring one into this world. I have a sister and a brother. My sister is also child-free, but my brother has a teen daughter. We love our niece and we like to spoil her. For her birthday, we decided to buy a car for her, which made her very happy. I married my wife a year ago after dating for 13 years. She has a daughter and a son from her previous relationship. I like her kids and I think we generally get along. Her daughter had a birthday, teen, a week ago, and I bought her a nice bag that she said she wanted. I thought it was a good and thoughtful gift, but my wife looked shocked. She didn't say anything in front of the guests, but after the party was over, she blew up at me and called me an idiot. She said they expected a car since I bought a car for my niece. We fought and she's not talking to me now. Am I the idiot? LMAO, imagine your partner saying that they're child-free when you all have been together 13 years, and your child was only 3 when you got together. You are the idiot, and dude, you aren't child-free. You have a stepdaughter and a stepson that live with you. You've clearly failed to communicate your intentions as a child-free individual. Your wife is expecting you to treat the kids as family, and my answer is rightly so. Why on earth did you get involved with a parent if you wanted to stay child-free? Good parents put their kids first. And yes, expecting a car is entitled as heck, but the issue is your lack of communication on everything. I say this as a sterile child-free man. Either you don't get involved with parents if you want to stay child-free, or you leave the bandwagon and become a parent. Both are valid options, neither are bad, but if you're going to be with parents, you better damn well be putting those kids first. Disagree. OP's not the idiot. Stepdaughter has a mother and presumably a father. Even as a deadbeat, she still has a mother. Why isn't mommy forking out for it? A big red flag that she just assumed you would buy one without a discussion, and your niece's car wasn't even bought 100% by you, as you stated. P.S. Sounds like you married a gold digger. A gold digger? Like, men are damn well crazy. To think that a woman would be with you and be loyal to you for 13 years, only for you to have the gall to turn around and call her a gold digger after all that. So what, she invested 13 years of her life for her to gain the sweet, sweet prize of a random car? Get over yourself. OP's the idiot for saying he's child-free when he's married to a mother of 2 kids. I, 50 female, have been in a relationship with my husband, 52, for several years. We've been married a year and there have been many gift-giving situations throughout. I've always been the one to make things happen. Someone wants something and I figure out how to get it done. I've always been involved in the gift selection process for his children, who are both in their mid-late 20s. So here is my issue. In each of these instances, I do not get a thank you. I barely get a vague acknowledgement. I did get an awkward, thanks, I guess, on one birthday. Gift-giving has been mostly initiated and pre-planned by me. I usually enjoy it. I know it's not that the gifts haven't been good gifts. However, on more than one occasion, I've overheard one or both of them bragging about what their dad got them and how he's really stepped up his gift-giving game these days. It's hurtful. Most recently, his kid had a baby shower, and there were multiple tables full of gifts from 55 different people. 54 of them got a thank you. Guess who didn't? The slight was so obvious that another woman turned around, laughed and said, "They didn't say it, so I will. Thank you." Yeah, not funny, but I'll play it off, "It's all good, ha-ha, pregnancy brain." I get excited about gift-giving and how much they'll love something, and I just end up feeling lousy afterward. Honestly, now that I'm typing this out, I realise they know proper etiquette. It really is, they just don't think it applies to me for some reason. So, am I the idiot for telling their dad that I will never disapprove of any money he wants us to spend on anything he wants to give his children? I'm just no longer comfortable putting myself in that position when there's so little or no appreciation. I will try to thicken my skin over this, and I'm hopeful that eventually I'll resume my current level of active participation. But for now, it's okay to step back, right? Not the idiot. You really need to stick to your guns on this one. Your husband has really failed you and should support you 100% on this, but he'll try to guilt you and so might others. So seriously, don't go buy any gifts for them. Buying them gifts has certainly yet to garner even a basic modicum of respect. And that goes for a bit the recipients and for your husband. Some life lessons are best learned the hard way. Yes, it sounds like hubby enjoys the praise for her work. That's about as greasy as it gets. OP, please step back. This is causing you pain and feeling resentment. It's not worth it because it's very clear that the children know you're doing the gift giving and are purposely not thanking you. By continuing to give gifts, you're just setting yourself up for more hurt and emotional pain. One idea: you're great at gift giving. Perhaps find children who need and will appreciate the gifts, e.g. hospitalized children, children in need, etc. Your husband's children aren't interested. Also, get counseling. Your husband isn't standing up for you and that needs to be addressed immediately. Yeah, I'm at a loss over their rudeness. Unless you're the reason their parents' marriage ended, this is the only explanation that makes sense, but you do not address it in the story. I'm curious to know if the answer will shift perspective on who is the idiot. OP, what were the circumstances of their parents' divorce? Did you know your husband before his divorce? If so, do they feel you contributed to it? Something deeper is happening here.